Tonight, I'm going to take probably, what time do we have to be out of here?
If you want, you can have 2 hours.
You know what? Let's do this. We'll take a break. Okay?
Yeah.
We'll take a break and we'll see who leaves and who stays. Okay? If you stay, that means you like what you hear. Okay? So, I know some don't speak English. I apologize. Next time, we can use AI. Believe it or not, I can talk English and it can show up here on the screen in Chinese. Alright? So we'll do that next time. So, I put this as my first picture because this is our newest child, our new baby.
Yeah, that's he's not smoking, okay, that's his treat.
That's a cigar. Okay, what I'm going to be doing tonight is I'm going to be doing a lot of storytelling. Okay? Gabby started, our story that when I met her, I was broke. Okay? I had no money. Now, there's a reason why I had no money. I had been in network marketing for 18 years before 4Life. I'm not bragging, but the reality is I was a millionaire by the time I was 28 years old. But I lost it all by the time I was 30. I lost everything and had to start life all over again. Okay? So one thing I've learned, I'm sure many of you would agree, life has cycles. It's like a circle. You're not always on top. You're not always on bottom. There's cycles of life. And I made a decision at the age of 21 years old that I wanted to become a networker. So that's what I want to talk about tonight. What is a networker? And I hope that by the end of tonight, all of you will be able to go home, look in the mirror, and ask yourself a question. Are you a networker? Yes or no? And be honest with yourself. And if not, do you want to be? And if you do want to be, what are you doing to become a networker? So if you want to record this, take your phones out. Record it. You record what I talk about, because tonight is going to be a conversation, me to you, my heart to your heart. Each one of you. Even though I'm talking to a group here, I'm talking to each one of you individually as well. Okay? So I hope that you can take something home and take it, learn from it, and become better and do something that I believe God put us here on this earth to do. That is called to grow, to develop. All right? That's why we're here, to grow and develop. Now, what is a networker? So let me go back here in my slides and go back to the first one here. Why is it not changing for me? Strange. Okay. Hang on, that's the last one, sorry. Okay. This is where my 4Life story begins. Now, you're going to hear my story, Gabby's story, but you know what is more important than our story? Your story, and your story, and your story. Okay? You need to constantly work on your story. So I'm going to share with you, as I talk tonight, these are all going to be pictures, really, right, in between my talking. Today, I continue to develop our story. That's what life is about. Life is a big story, isn't it? You're all living a story. So, your story is important, very important in this business. Why is your story important? Because you are meant to inspire people, to inspire them, to influence them, and in some cases to persuade them. That's what a networker does. You notice I did not say convince. I don't believe we convince people, because if you inspire, you influence, you might even persuade them. Maybe some of you are here tonight because somebody persuaded you to come. You understand the word persuade, correct? Okay. Now, people tend mostly to join this business and learn about networking for one of two reasons. Okay? Does anybody know those two reasons? Inspiration or desperation. Okay? Most people, it's desperation. We'll talk about that a little bit later, desperation. Right? I was desperate when I was living here. That was my home. That was my house. It was not even a house. It was a little room I lived in. I lost everything. Before I lived here, you have to have fun, you guys, all right? Before I lived here, as I said, I was a millionaire. I had a plane.
Wow.
I had a yacht.
Wow.
I had a Mercedes-Benz. I had a BMW. I had a house by the beach, not on the beach, by the beach, all right, at Laguna Beach. I lost everything. Lost it all. And found myself sleeping on the floor, in there with no furniture. The reason this door is like that, let me grab my little pointer. The reason the door is like that is because a few nights before, some gang members sprayed graffiti on the door. So I don't know if they put a hit on me to kill me or what. But the point is, they put a metal door on there for protection. My neighbors were arrested for selling cocaine. That's how bad this place was. I could not even afford the $400 a month to pay rent. So, what happened? Timing is everything. I was desperate. I needed something in my life. I met Gabby, and Gabby and I we talked about going on a date. I couldn't take her on a date. I couldn't afford it. Guess who paid for our first date? She did. She paid for it. Guess who paid for our second date? She did. I couldn't afford it. Seriously, things were bad. So, I received one day a letter from someone and a bottle of something called transfer factor. Y'all heard of transfer factor?
Yes.
I got my bottle of transfer factor in that little place right there. And you know who sent it to me? Dr. Calvin McCausland.
Oh.
Any of you heard of Dr. McCausland? Dr. McCausland was the very first chief scientific officer for Corley. How did I meet Dr. McCausland? I met him in 1993. Dr. McCausland was gracious enough to talk to me about something called Crohn's disease. Any of you heard of Crohn's disease?
Yes.
Crohn's disease is a digestive disorder. I had Crohn's disease. Why did I have Crohn's disease? Because I lost everything and I was stressed out and worried about life and how I was going to survive and everything. Crohn's disease tends to affect those in their late 20s and early 30s. Okay? So I was sick. Well, Dr. McCausland thought enough of me to send me a bottle of transfer factor with a letter. October 20, 1998. Over 25 years ago, I received my first bottle of transfer factor. Well, actually, no, I received the bottle in September. I joined in October. I joined For Life. All right? So Dr. McCausland, back in 1998, you guys, was there Google?
No.
Was Google around in 1998?
No.
No Instagram, no social media. You know how I got my information? Fax. Fax machine. That's how I got the information. Now, why did I take a look at transfer factor in For Life? There's really two main reasons. One, I was desperate. Okay? But you know the main reason? I was inspired. Who inspired me? Dr. McCausland. He called me on the phone. He told me that he felt this was one of the greatest discoveries ever, transfer factor. And he highly recommended I take a look at it. I use the product and take a look at it. And he said, you really should look at this business, Dave. And so, I listened to him because he had credibility with me. So my question to you, the people that you talk to, the people that you share this with, how's your credibility with them? How is your influence with them? How is your ability to inspire someone and influence them? Do you work on that? Do you work on that every day? I'm a networker. It's what I do. As a networker, I talk to people. Gabby was sitting next to me right now from the KL airport all the way to the Sunway Resort. Okay? I don't know, 45 minutes, an hour drive. Almost the whole way, I talked to the driver about what? For life. Transfer factor. I presented to him. I tried to inspire him. I tried to influence him to take a look. Now, I'm not crazy in the head. I don't run around, woo, for life, hey, everybody. I don't do that. What I do though, is I engage in conversation with people. And that's how I find people. Just by influencing, inspiring, and sometimes persuading. Well, that same driver picked us up at Sunway and took us to, what airport is it? SZB.
Subak.
Took us to that airport today. Guess what we talked about? For life and transfer factor. He gave me his card. He said he wants to know more. I am a networker. That's what I do. That's how I make my living. And I make a lot of money, you guys. A lot, millions and millions of dollars. Because I love networking. Okay? So, I start here. I get my ball of transfer factor. But I am afraid. Why am I afraid? Because I went through 18 years of network marketing and I was broke. I had nothing. But guess what? Was it network marketing's fault that I was broke? No, it was my fault. Because I bought stupid toys. I bought a plane. I bought a yacht. I bought 2 cars. I didn't invest my money properly. What happened to those companies? They went down. They crashed. Why did they crash? Because people run companies, and if they don't know what they're doing, the company might fail. So here's a statistic for you all. Try to remember this one. And by the way, everything I'm talking about tonight, you will find available on my new domain. You're all going to get it because I'll be giving it out to all the leaders here. UplinePro.com. All right? Upline Pro is a new domain I'm launching at the first of the year. Okay? So, I would encourage you to get involved with this. It's really cool. So, here I am living here in this place. I'm broke. I bought toys. I lost everything. Network marketing did not fail me. People failed me. So why was I afraid? I was afraid because I didn't want to fail again. Have any of you ever felt that way? That sometimes you feel like a failure? I felt like a failure. I really did. After 18 years of networking, I was broke. But there was a time when I made money. My problem was I didn't have a good partner. Network marketing is a partnership between you and the person who pays you. Does Kai Shin pay you? No. Does Dr. Tam pay you? No. Who pays us?
For life.
And who's the founder of For Life?
David.
David Lisenby pays us. So, if you're going to join a network marketing company, do you think it's important to know who your partner is?
Yes.
Would you, okay, ladies, Would you marry a guy that you don't know? No? No, you want to get to know that person a little bit, right? Well, the same thing applies in business. So what did I do? I told Gabby, we were dating at the time, and she paid for her own airplane ticket. I had to borrow money for mine. We flew to Utah. Why did we fly to Utah? Because back in 1998, For Life just started. David Lisenby was available to go and talk to him. And so Gabby and I went and talked to him. And that day changed our lives. Because, all right, where's the phone? All right. So Gabby and I met David Lisenby on October 20th, 1998. I felt in my heart, with or without me, this company would be very successful. Very successful. Why? Because I met a man who had great vision. I met a man who seemed, from what I could tell when talking to him, very honest, straightforward, talked about the future, taking transfer factor to the world. I asked him some serious questions, and those questions were very important to me. Question number one, Mr. Lisenby, assuming you're going to build a successful company, because you're not doing this to fail, obviously, you're doing this to succeed, what's your exit strategy? What are you going to do with this company? Are you going to sell it? Because that's what most people do. They start a company, they build it, and they sell it. He said, no, I'm not going to sell it. Has David Lisenby sold For Life yet? No. And I promise you now, after Bianca passed away, he said his vision is more clear than ever before with For Life in the future. So, number two, are you going to take the company into the public domain where people get to buy stock in the company? David Lisenby will make hundreds of millions of dollars. Doesn't do very well for us. He said, no, it will always stay private within the family. Yes. So I said, wonderful. I trust you. I feel that my life is in good hands with For Life. And I signed an application. Gabby was with me. So, we joined For Life, just like many of you have, and probably all of you hopefully have joined For Life. Okay? We go back home. We were dating. We weren't living together yet, Gabby and I. She goes to her house with her Lexus, and I go back to this place. I go inside, I sit down, and guess what I did? First thing I did. Created a plan. You have to have a plan. Without a plan, you're just like the wind. You're blowing around all over out there, okay? Without a plan, you have no direction. You have to have a plan. So my question to you, do you have a plan? Do you guys all have a plan? Are you following your plan? You can change your plan. I mean, I don't know where, well, the border of Thailand's up north, right? So how far are we from the border? If I drive, was it 4 hours, 5 hours?
2 hours.
2 hours from the border, really? Wow, let's go to Thailand. So, 2 hours from the border, okay? Well, look, how many ways can you get to the border? You can fly, you can walk, you can ride a bike, you can take a motorcycle, you can run. There's all kinds of ways. But you still need a plan. What's the plan? We're going to drive, we're going to walk, we're going to fly. What are we going to do? All right? Same way in this business. You need to have a plan. So I'd like to share with you a little bit about my plan, okay? My plan doesn't have to be your plan. But I would encourage you. Have a plan. Number one, what do we get paid to do? Really, what do we get paid to do as a networker? Talk to people. All right? Now, it can go a little bit beyond talking. Let's use the word communicate with people. All right? Communicate. That's all. Just communicate. How many ways are there to communicate? Facebook. Can you communicate with people on Facebook?
Yes.
Yeah, you can, right? TikTok, right? All kinds of social media platforms. What about the telephone? Can you call someone on WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Yeah, communicate. It's a good way, all right? All kinds of ways to communicate. I would encourage you, though. Some can be quite productive. Others can be quite disappointing. Let me share with you what I mean by disappointing. Let's say that you decided you want to build your entire business on social media. I'm going to ask a question, and I need every one of you to please raise your hand with one or the other. And if you don't speak English, maybe Kaishin, you can help me. If you are here tonight because you saw a social media post or an ad, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever social media platform, YouTube, if that's the reason you were here tonight because you answered or you saw a social media post, raise your hand. Oh, nice. We have one. Okay, what's your name?
Oh, name, my name is
Z?
Me.
Z, nice to meet you. Wonderful, wonderful. You know something? You're very special. You know why you're special? Because you are under the 1%. Okay? Less than 1% of people join this business because of social media. Now, if you are here tonight because someone talked to you or invited you, inspired you, influenced you, or persuaded you to come here, raise your hand. Aha! You see? So, doesn't it make sense that if one way you have a 99% chance of succeeding, and the other way you have less than a 1% chance of succeeding, which one's the best one? 99%. So, get good at that 99%. What do I mean by get good at it? Network marketing is a social business. Social media is not social. It's not. It doesn't talk to you, doesn't give, but here's what it's good for though. Social media is good for training, educating. You can put, classes up there. And that's, by the way, what Upline Pro is going to be. Upline Pro is going to be a bit like Netflix. Y'all know Netflix?
Yes.
You're going to basically have categories in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. And eventually we can put Chinese. There's a whole AI platform within it. All right? And so, but get good at skills. Skills, skills, skills. I love skills. What do I mean by skills? Social skills. Being able to meet the taxi driver. Being able to meet maybe the cook downstairs here. Understand that every single person that gets involved in this business, they had a life doing something else. Very few people are born in network marketing, right? There's a few that might be their parents in network marketing, so they grew up in it. But for the most part, everybody here probably comes from some other walk of life. Accountants and doctors and lawyers and watch representatives. But everybody has some sort of career or whatever. But network marketing, someone inspired them, influenced them, persuaded them to look at this. Okay? So, my plan here was real simple. Number one, how can I persuade somebody? How? How do you persuade someone? You got to talk to them, right? You got to communicate with them, right? What are you going to say? Someone said, join for life, join for life. No. So you have to work on your message. Okay? How is your message when you talk to someone? All right? How good are you at influencing them through your education on For Life? What do you know about For Life? If I ask you right now, give me 5 facts about For Life, what could you say? I'm curious. Anybody here, give me a fact about For Life, the company.
Debt-free.
Debt-free, good one. Debt-free, very important today. Another one.
Immune system company?
Immune system company, wonderful. Didn't that help us all during COVID?
Yeah. Yes.
Man, my business grew in March of 2020, 15 million life points in 30 days.
Oh,
Wow.
500,000 every day. Tick, 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 tick. I'm like, yeah. But anyhow, all right, so immune system company, another one.
25 years.
25 years. I just got back from Brazil. I was in Brazil for almost 3 weeks, and people would come up to me and they go, "You've been with that company for 25 years?" And I'd say, "Yeah." They never met anybody that's been with the same company for 25 years. Yeah. We've got a good company with good people, with good products, great pay plan. Yeah, I'm going to die in For Life. All right? So, 25 years. Another one.
Only immune system company?
Got that one already.
Oh.
Yeah, immune system
Highest
company.
payout.
AAA plus.
64% payout, okay. Very high payout. There's one more I'm looking for. Where can you do business?
Global business.
Globalization. We're multinational. You can live in Penang and have business in Korea, US, Canada, UK, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, all over the world. So these are all things you need to have in your memory bank so that when you're talking to someone, you can go bam, 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 and you can give them these, I call them bullet points. Why you're excited about For Life. I'm excited because we've got products that are unique and patented, and nobody has these products. I'm excited because I'm in a $4 trillion industry of health and wellness. I'm excited because I've got an opportunity to build a multinational business. Okay? So again, your plan, what's important in your plan is your ability to inspire someone by delivering a message. So please, practice your messaging. Now, where do you practice? You know who you can practice with? Your Pomeranian. Seriously. Hey, I practiced in the mirror. I practiced with my grandma. I mean, when I started For Life, the first thing I did with my plan was practice my message. So that when I talk to people, I could tell them about it. And I couldn't say 25 years, and I couldn't say debt-free, because For Life wasn't debt-free when it started. It is debt, all right? So today, there's so much more you can say, okay? Number 2, in your plan. The best way you can influence someone and inspire them, gain their trust by working with them. You don't sign people up in this business and sit back and hope that they do the business. I hope they become a diamond. I hope they make it presidential. Please, you don't do that. Okay? Upline serves the downline. You serve your people. Downline does not work for the upline. You guys don't work for me. The reality is I work for you. Upline serves the downline. And that's why after 25 years, Gabby and I still travel the world. We're out inspiring, influencing, educating, training, all these things. Why? Because we want you all to be great networkers, if you want to. If you don't want to, then we can't do anything for you. I'm sorry. You have to have a desire. All right? So, in your message, you want to know about your company, about your products. Like Gabby talked about Vista. You have Vista in Malaysia, correct?
Yes.
Lutein, very good for the eyes. All right? Transfer factor. Did you know it's the only thing on this planet? The only thing. There's no drug, there's no medicine, there's no vitamin, there's no mineral, there's no herb, there's no plant that can actually educate your immune system. Educate your immune system. And I tell people that when I talk to them. I say, I have a product. A product does something no other product does. It educates your immune system to recognize threats, no matter what the threat is. And that's extremely important. Why do people die of COVID? Because why did older people die of COVID and not the younger people? There might have been a few younger people that had a compromised immune system. But did COVID affect older people or younger people? Why?
Low immune system.
Their immune systems were not as educated. Did you guys all study mathematics in school?
Yes.
Did you study algebra? Do you remember every formula today?
No.
Why not?
Not using it.
Now, if you were an algebra teacher in school today, would you remember the formulas?
Yes.
Of course, because every day you studied it. Your immune system is the same way. So when you're giving a message to someone, talking to someone, isn't that a good analogy? I like to use that analogy a lot. I tell people, do you remember your algebra formulas from high school? They go, no. Your immune system's the same way. It doesn't remember everything. It forgets. If you could take a capsule or a spray or a chewable and it would educate your immune system to start recognizing threats to protect you, would you be interested? Pretty good message. So get good at your messaging, sharing with people. That's the product. Now let's talk about the opportunity here. Opportunity. We talked about globalization a minute ago. We live in an age right now. Information is right at your fingertips, right? What does it cost for you to get on Google? Nothing. It's free. At least it is for me. Does Google charge you guys to do a Google search? Okay. It's free. What does it cost you to send a message to someone through Facebook Messenger?
Free.
It's free. You can be communicating with people, and that's what social media can be good for. It can be good communicating with people long distance. Y'all use Zoom?
Yeah. Yes.
I like Zoom, okay? Zoom's great when it comes to giving information to people. But you know what I hate about Zoom? You guys turn your cameras off. Really? Here we go, probably cooking, maybe watching TV over here, and you got your Zoom going back there. All right? So, Zoom is not as effective as this. Okay? You need to be social with people. The people I have seen succeed in this business, and I'm going to go through the slides here and show you. They're doing meetings. They're getting together. They're socializing. They're setting goals together. They're challenging each other. Here we are. What's the date today? The 23rd? Okay. We got what? 8 days left? A week left, let's say, in October. All right? Well, tell you what. If I'm your sponsor, I'm going to go find one person I'm going to sign up between now and the end of the month. I'll do one, you do one. How about that? I'll find one, you do one. Okay? The one that you get, I'll even help you with because I'm your sponsor. You see? Upline serves the downline. My point is this. You've got to have some goals. Let me ask you all a question. Where do you see yourself in a month, in 90 days, 6 months, a year from now? Where do you see yourself? Where do you want to be? Do you want to be making more money? Okay. Would you like to become better? Would you like to become more successful?
Yes.
How does that happen? By sitting on your fanny or getting out and doing some work? Getting out and doing some work. Being active, active, active. Be active in your business. Okay? The other thing, does your downline control you or do you control your downline? If your downline's all sitting on their fannies, their butts, and doing nothing, what are you doing? Okay? A lot of people say, well, my downline's doing nothing, so I'm going to do nothing. No! Is that inspiring? No! What is inspiring is, my downline's not doing anything, I'm going to get out there and hustle. I'm going to show them. I'm going to lead by example. I'm going to be an example for them to see. 25 years now, we've been in 4Life. Are we still working?
Yes.
Yes. And you know what I've learned in my 25 years? We'll always be working. Because once networking is in your blood, it's like a songwriter. Ask a songwriter, when are you going to stop writing songs? Never. It's in your head. It's in your heart. Now, guess what though? We get to choose if we want to work or we don't want to work. But we make money either way. It's called residual income. And that's the other thing that's important. Rentability. Globalization, rentability. If you own 10 houses, would you live in all 10? What would you do? You'd probably live in one. Maybe you have a summer home and a winter home. Well, you're in Malaysia, I have summer winter. You live in one, and what would you do with the other 9? Rent them out. Why would you rent them out? Because they bring you residual money. That's what's great about this business. The residual income it brings, and it gives you the choice. Okay? So, in your messaging to people, share with them, inspire them the benefits of this business. So let's talk about this business. I'd like somebody here to share with me, what are the benefits? Give me one benefit of this business. Anyone? One benefit of network marketing.
Leverage.
Leverage, great word. I love that word, leverage. Okay, leverage of what?
Connecting.
Okay, that's nice. OPM, OPP. You know what OPP means? Other people's people. Other people's people. In other words, do you know people I don't know? Do you know anybody that I don't know? Do you have a cell phone? Yes, okay. In that cell phone, do you have names?
Yes.
Okay, so you know those people, don't you?
Yeah.
Do I know those people?
No.
OPP, other people's people. So my goal as a networker is to influence you, inspire you, persuade you to let me into that phone to talk to those people. Really? So if I was your sponsor, my plan with you would be number one, I'd like to know, in fact, okay, what do you, I know you're networking, but what do you do as well, aside from network marketing? What's your background?
Retired nursing professional.
Retired?
Nursing professional.
Retired nurse. Awesome. Okay. So, nurses. Are nurses social?
Yeah.
Yes.
They are social. Don't they have to talk to the patients? Okay. As a nurse, have you had some honoring people? So people are like, nah, 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 nah. You know? You have to be patient, don't you? Okay. So she's got social skills. Okay. She's patient. Because you have to be patient. You can't be a doctor or a nurse and not learn to be patient. All right. She's got skills. Okay. Now, I want to get into her circle of influence. So now my question would be is, if she's been in 100 network marketing companies and she's talked to all the people in that cell phone about different network marketing companies for the past 10 years, does she have credibility? No. No. Okay? So as I'm going to be working with her, I'm going to be looking at her credibility, her circle of influence, how influential is she? Now, let's pretend that this right here is Michelle Obama. Would she have influence?
Yes.
Of course. You see? Some people have a lot of influence. Some people don't have much influence. Some people can't even influence their children. Seriously, all right? So these are things a networker learns to do in your plan, day to day to day, okay? You meet people, you give a message, you inspire, you influence, and then you even persuade. And then they say, I want to join. When they join, you don't step back and say, okay, go for it. Platinum's that way. All right, you don't do that. You get in with them. You create a plan of action with them. Have fun with them, cry with them, laugh with them, partner with them. All right? Trust me, it's a lot funner and easier and simpler when you're not working alone and you're working with someone else. Especially when you present together, you talk to someone, you get a third person signed up. Team's growing. Went from 1 to 2 to 3. All right? That's how you build a network. Influence, inspire, and persuade. All right? So, prospecting. How do you prospect? If you're going to try to use social media for all your prospecting, I'm sorry. The chances are, the odds are against you. Okay? Social media is great. You can inspire people over social media. I mean, think about it. Let's say that you got into 4Life and you're building your business. Okay? Kai Shin took a picture of Gabby and I in the car with him. Right, we got in the car. Why did he do that? Where's that picture going to go? Will it go on social media somewhere? Hopefully. You know, my business partners flew into town, from San Diego, California. All right? So let's say all of a sudden you're in 4Life, you get your first great escape trip, and you're off to Ha Long Bay, Vietnam. Anybody here been to Ha Long Bay? Pretty cool, huh? So you're in Ha Long Bay. You're taking pictures, having fun. Put that on social media. Next thing you know, you're in Los Angeles or San Francisco because you've got a 4Life trip. You're taking pictures. Is that inspirational? Yeah. That's what you use social media for. You can inspire people with your social media. Right? But if you're posting a bottle of transfer factor, right, you taking the product or something, unless you're Oprah Winfrey or something, right? The point is, use social media to share your story. That's so important. I said that when I started tonight. Your story, and your story, and your story. Share your story through social media, but work at your story. Develop your story. Grow your story. And how do you do that? By working on yourself. Work on yourself. How are your skills? How's your social skills? How's your leadership skills? All right? Now, let's talk about this. I'm going to start going through some pictures. To develop skills, I don't care what you're talking about. In any business, if it's sports, all right? What sport do they play here? You guys play soccer? Cricket? Is cricket more popular than
No.
badminton? Cool. If you want to be a good badminton player, do you have to practice?
Yes.
I bet you probably get a sore shoulder. Your shoulder gets sore, your arm gets sore, right? So probably if you want to be a professional badminton player, you're probably going to have a bit of pain, aren't you? Muscle pain, right? Let's talk about music. Anybody here like music? Play an instrument?